Hey there everyone, I am the Multiverse Maker, and welcome back to the channel. So, this video is going to be a little bit different, because I discovered something a little bit ago. And October is the perfect time to do this, because October is the spooky season of the month, monsters, creatures, things of the night, which a majority of the time, or some of the time, this falls into that. 2024 is the year of the kaijus. And for those of you who don't know what a kaiju is Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan, all those big baddies that we see from those movies of now and past. Those are all kaijus. And things like Pacific Rim has them as well. But everything has a beginning, even Godzilla. And his beginning and everyone else's is not quite what we know in modern cinema, modern everything of what Godzilla is. So in this video, you're going to hear me talk about the origins of Godzilla, how him, the director that made Godzilla, the story, everything has influenced everything over 70 years, I want to say, of film franchise of monsters and creatures. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it interesting as well. And there might be a possibly a part 2 to this video because there's no way I'm able to get everything in one video. So, if you like it, go ahead and do the normal stuff, a thumbs up and everything. Click subscribe for part 2 of this video of whenever I'm able to get that done. And yeah, enjoy the video. So, I'll stop stalling and let you go. Oh, one more thing. The image that you will see in the background is something that I drew to go along with it, whereas my own two kaijus kind of squaring off against one another and everything. Yeah, not everything, but you're going to be seeing two kaijus of my own design squaring off against each other. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.
Godzilla, king of the monsters, alive, surging up from the depths of the sea on a tidal wave of terror to wreak vengeance on mankind.
Godzilla, king of the monsters, it's alive,
A gigantic beast
stalking the earth, crushing all before it.
in a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror.
The kaiju genre began back in 1954 with the release of Godzilla, who was directed by Ishiro Honda. I apologize if I didn't pronounce the first name right. This film was not supposed to be just a monster movie or monster flick as most people would probably assume it to be. The film was supposed to be a commentary on the horrors and fears of nuclear warfare, and those fears and horrors reflecting upon Japan's post-war anxieties. And that's what Godzilla is in the original 1954 movie. Godzilla is a symbol of destruction and resilience, reflecting these people's anxieties and everything, the post-war anxieties in this era, in this year. So, from this becoming a symbol of destruction and resilience, it also paved the way for a new genre in cinema. Following Godzilla, we saw an emergence of other iconic monsters that he has either fought against, which is more common to see, or fought with. You have with the iconic monsters that are Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. Each of these creatures brought its own unique story and symbolism, enriching the Kaiju universe itself. Because before it was just Godzilla, which was a symbol of destruction and resilience. But then you have these other ones joining in and becoming, just coming in and enriching the story. Each one symbolizing its own role in the universe. And as the years went by, the genre just evolved even more. The 1960s through 70s movies, we saw a surge in popularity, with the film becoming more and more colorful and imaginative. And we witnessed epic battles between these monsters that we come to know and we come to love. And also the introduction of far more different and complex creatures. Perfect example is a kaiju by the name of Gamera. And for those of you who probably didn't fully understand me, Gamera, 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 which is a flying turtle. Like, no joke, Google it. Gamera is a flying turtle. Then, through the 80s and the 90s, there was a shift in tone with the films. It started with Godzilla versus Biollante, and then the 2000 movies exploring more complex narratives and special effects, like Godzilla 2000s. Instead of attacking Japan, it attacked New York, and that Godzilla looked more like a T-Rex than it actually did Godzilla. Which I didn't mind that, mainly because that was my first Godzilla. But as the genre began, from this point, the genre just expanded and attracted a global audience, influencing filmmakers around the world. Because if you can make the creatures look more realistic and have more realistic effects in movies, then you're going to draw in a crowd. You're going to draw in more people who wants to see, I don't know, Godzilla blow up the Chrysler building, or I don't know, Godzilla punching King Ghidorah in the face, or a flying turtle. But I digress. You fast forward now to the 21st century, and the kaiju genre is 100% experiencing a renaissance. Mainly starting with the most, probably, in my opinion, that's not related to Godzilla, notable kaiju film to date, Pacific Rim. Now, I'm talking about the first one, not the second one. Second one's good, but in my opinion, they lost some of their, let's just say, they lost a lot of their flavor that they had with the first one. But anyway, that movie basically started the entire resurgence, or almost the entire resurgence, of the kaiju genre and all that. But if you want a more specific list of movies through the generations that both added and expanded upon this genre, I'll go ahead and give it to you. First off, we have to start with the beginning, Godzilla back in 1954. Then Mothra in 1961. So, not that much of a difference. Then a year later, we have King Kong versus Godzilla. Now everyone should know King Kong at this point, but just basically make a gorilla about the size of Godzilla, and then you have what King Kong is. Then after that is the 1954 movie Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. Now this one back then rebooted, well, is a reboot of the Gamera franchise that revitalized the character, using it to introduce more serious tones into the franchise. Then you have Godzilla vs. Biollante in 1989. This one had complex narrative and very unique monster designs, and this film explored themes of genetic engineering and environmentalism. Basically, genetic altering and concerns about the environment and everything. So those serious type of topics. Then you have Pacific Rim in 2013, which is basically a movie that's a love letter to the Kaiju films. And it featured giant robots, which I thoroughly enjoyed, battling massive monsters. And it just showed the influence that these movies, that Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, Gamera, Rodan, all of them influenced us growing up, and influenced a lot of people still even today that watches those classic films. Just saying, we watched you, we hear you, here's our love letter, and that's Pacific Rim. It is just an awesome movie. Then, a year later, we had the 2014 Godzilla, which was the modern reboot to reintroduce Godzilla to a newer generation. But this story with Godzilla, unlike the 1954, was more of the influence or emphasizing the creature's role as a force of nature, along with the others like the Muda, I think they're called. Then, about 3 years later, you had Kong Skull Island, which this movie here, this one specifically, actually kicked off the whole Monsterverse series. Which, this film with Kong Skull Island more goes on his origins, and honestly was the building blocks, the piece that you needed to set up to make more movies to expand upon the creature, the Monsterverse, as a role itself, and for multiple and future crossovers. And then you had, oh, my apologies, there was the 2016, in between 2014 and 2017, there's the 2016 film Shin Godzilla, which, this one is, for starters, a critically acclaimed movie and a reboot that reflected a contemporary issue in Japan, showcasing a more terrifying and realistic portrayal of Godzilla. And you might be wondering, the 2014 Godzilla is also called Shin Godzilla. Don't get the two mixed up. Shin Godzilla, the 2016 one, if I'm remembering correctly, is one that is so different. Remember the whole thing, the genetic engineering and environmentalism that went on in the 1989 movie of Godzilla vs. Violante. This one takes a not generic engineering, but more of a mutation side of everything, and we just see the beginning to end of Godzilla quite legitly, and as he mutates and grows in, I want to say, less than 2 months, into a force of nature that's just expanding and growing. And if you look it up and you see the clips, or if you've seen the movie, holy I don't want to even curse, holy hell. It is just an awesome movie. Honestly, they all are, but I digress. Then we had Godzilla King of Monsters in 2019, which the movie just expanded Monsterverse even more, featuring multiple iconic kaijus and epic battles, which honestly this one was really good for both veteran viewers of the series of just kaijus to also newcomers who was either the first time either watching or just learning about it. But overall, that is basically the beginning of just this video. I mean, there's just more and more to be seen about these movies and characters, and honestly, they've actually influenced us a lot more than just in movies. It influenced across multiple platforms, which I won't be getting into this video because that one requires a little bit more, not research, but setting up, I guess, would be the best way of doing it. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed me talking about the history of Godzilla and the different movies that influenced us. And the video in the background that you've been seeing is me drawing. I'm an artist. And these two are my own kaijus. One's a vulture bat squid, and the other one is a gorilla ape, a gorilla snake turtle thing, or a snapping turtle, a gorilla, actually, not a snake, that's a different project I'm doing, a gorilla snapping turtle, and yeah, it was just honestly just something I wanted to talk about. And what best way to do it than in the year of Kaiju, basically, the year of monsters. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the picture that I have right behind me, or in front of me, with however I have it right now. And you guys should go watch Godzilla movies. I mean, besides it being the spookiest time of year, what better way to watch a monster flick? It's the 70th anniversary. What other excuse do you need? But in the next video on this channel, I'm going to be talking about other media, like besides movies and TV series, well, also TV series, that were influenced and features kaijus of their own right within their universes and worlds. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, if you guys liked it, go ahead and subscribe, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.